Welcome, guys. This is the Equip Show with Joey McKernan, and we, as you guys know, we love to highlight nonprofits. We love to highlight organizations that are doing amazing work. We've got Sleep in Heavenly Peace here today, and I've got Greg Kramer. Greg, how are you?
I'm great, Joey.
Good, man. Good to have you here. Me and Greg go way back.
We have a history. Yeah.
We have a history, a great history. We were a part of launching a church at one point, and I got this email from one of our team members and said Sleep in Heavenly Peace is coming on the show, and Greg's going to do it. And I said, let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
This is exciting.
I got to tell you, Joey, I'm an avid consumer of many different podcasts
Yeah,
in
yeah.
different forms, but I've never been on one before.
No,
So
that's all right.
I need to rely on your direction as we go through this today.
You know it is. We just like to have fun here. That's
Appreciate that. It's great to be
pretty
here.
much how we do. But man, tell us a little bit about Sleep in Heavenly Peace. I mean, you guys kind of popped up in Omaha not too long ago.
Yeah,
but
2018 is when
2018.
Yeah.
So it's a chapter model. Give us kind of just the overview of Sleep in Heavenly Peace, what you guys do, and the quick elevator pitch.
Yeah, the quick version, we build and deliver twin-size beds for children who do not have a bed to sleep in.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, our Omaha chapter started in 2018, but the longer story, which I'm sure we'll get into, was launched, as a lot of great things are, by one guy and his family and friends in his garage in Twin Falls, Idaho, and that happened in 2012.
Twin Falls, Idaho.
Yeah, and so we can talk about that if you like, but the mission spread, the word gets out, and this is a need in our community and in our country that
Yeah.
we really wouldn't have known existed unless somebody told us about it.
Yeah.
And so now our mission is to tell other people about it and make
Yeah.
a difference. Yeah.
I think I love that, like, you guys are very simple, like it's a bed, but talk to us about the power of that and some of the gap that you guys have seen in the local Omaha metro area.
Yeah,
Some
so
of the challenge there.
one of our core values at SHP is it's more than just a bed, right? So it seems on the surface level that it is something so simple, and I promise you that it is, because
Right.
if I can do this, if I can grab a DeWalt power tool and build a bunk bed,
Yeah.
anybody who's watching this or listening to it can. But the process of going through acquiring the materials, building the bed, storing the bed, and then ultimately delivering it to the child's home that needs it, there are 15 or 20 pairs of hands that touch those materials before we get it to the child.
Yeah.
So it's about the bed, but it's about community involvement and
Okay.
building a team of people that can come together and do good and
Yeah.
spread random acts of kindness. But then you deliver it to the child, and it's safety and it's security and it's a good night's rest. And I like to think about, we've delivered over 5,000 beds in the Omaha Council Bluffs
Wow.
area now. But if you think about just one of them that you may deliver someday that might have an impact on that child, where they get a restful night's sleep, they go to school the next day, they get a better score on that test, they get a scholarship, they study something that's life-changing or world-changing, and it's kind of a silly thing to think about, but it's feasible, right?
Yeah. I think people aren't aware of how many kids sleep on the floor. As you know, I worked in North Omaha
Yeah.
for a long time, and I've witnessed it. We used to have this event called Spring Cleanup at Abad, and we would go and clean up. But one of the parts of that event was we would go into, I don't think we were supposed to, but we would go into people's homes and say, like, what can we throw away for you?
Yeah.
And trash and stuff. And I remember, like, walking into houses and seeing kids sleeping on the floor, like a hard wooden floor.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what that does to a kid, and because a lot of us don't know what that would be like.
Sure.
Of being 7, having to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
What does that do mentally? What does that do for a kid's sleep? What does it do for even like how they view maybe themselves?
Well, I won't make you say your age in front of your
Yeah.
viewers here, but I can tell you, and your viewers and
I'm
listeners.
55.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you look great. You look great. When you're an adult and you get a crummy night's sleep,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of toss and turn a little bit. Maybe you wake up earlier or later than you thought you wanted to, and you have a second cup of coffee and you go on about your day, right? But we serve children between 3 and 17 specifically. We're a very narrow focus. We can't serve toddlers because of safety issues with cribs and whatnot.
Sure. Okay.
And we do not serve adults. We partner with organizations that will provide a bed to an adult, but children from 3 to 17, their bodies are still developing, their brains are still developing, they have to go to school and be social and perform in sports and come home and be a member of their family. And you just can't do that when you don't rest and
Yeah.
when your body does not recover.
Yeah.
We can't really get into a lot of the scientific aspects of it, but if you think of hormone regulation and body development of a young person, things just don't happen the way they ought to when your
Yeah.
body doesn't have time to rest and heal from the stresses of the day.
Yeah. And I think there's like those are really good. And I think there's like how do I put this? Like a self-image, almost like a dignity piece where, and I saw that with some of our families that we helped,
Yeah,
like it's just really, it's really unfortunate. It's almost like when kids can't pay for their lunch at school. Like it's very embarrassing. And and it really does affect, I think, the physical aspects too, but also the self-esteem aspects of
definitely.
like every kid wants to just sleep in a bed.
Yeah, most definitely.
You want to go to a bed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You don't
yeah,
want to sleep on the floor
yeah,
in a corner. Like what that does to their emotional view of themselves too.
yeah, for sure. Some of our recipients sleep on the floor. They sleep on a pile of clothes in the corner.
Yeah.
They share a bed with a sibling. Maybe the only thing that their family can afford is an air mattress, which is
Hmm.
one, it's not a good quality night's
Air
sleep. But
mattresses are
two,
awful.
it's not safe for a child either.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point.
that's one of the circumstances where we can step in and help.
Yeah.
It comes at no cost to the family or to the child. And you brought up a great point is, the dignity that comes along with
Hmm.
that, receiving that
Yeah.
bed. And whatever the circumstances the family might be in, it's not the child's fault, right?
Yep.
So we have one focus, and it's to help the child.
That's so good. And you guys are really focused. Like
Yeah,
focused.
yeah,
Like
very
you do
singularly.
beds and you do
Yeah,
kids
yeah,
and like
yeah,
certain age of kids.
yeah,
I think that's really good. And
yeah.
have you seen how that has really helped your guys' movement? Just keeping it simple.
Most definitely. Yeah. Somebody told me just earlier this year. We've been doing this in Omaha since 2018, but somebody said, um, they said you should try to do less better.
Mm,
And I think if your focus is too broad, or if you try to wear too many hats or do too many things or serve too many people, I think everybody can suffer.
yep.
So I think if there's a group like us or similar to us that can really keep things narrow, hone in on what you're good at, and being good at it really is a relative term because it really is simple what we do.
Yep.
Anybody can do this.
Yep.
But to your point, we keep the focus, keep the vision straight ahead, and children 3 to 17 who need us is who we're going to serve. So
That's really good. And like you said, you want to do less but better. And so many causes we work with, as you know, we work with a lot of nonprofits. The thing that a lot of groups get caught into is just doing everything for everybody.
yes,
And you can't. You just can't. There's no organization that can serve everybody.
yeah, I agree.
Not well. And you see your guys' scale of impact. I mean, it started in Idaho. So how did it find itself to Omaha? Like, how did this get here?
Yeah, let's take a road trip.
How did that get here from Idaho?
Let's take a road trip to Idaho
Yeah.
real quick. So in 2012, there's a guy called Luke Mickelson who, between himself and his family and his friends, went into the garage and built a few bunk beds.
Mhm.
They put out a message on Facebook and they said, does anybody need this? I mean,
Mm.
here's a project that we did. Is there anybody that we can bless with this? And it turns out the response was bigger than what Luke thought it was going to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
So they kept doing it. And slowly but surely they kind of expanded and formed a couple of chapters. Luke quit a pretty lucrative job
Mm.
to start this nonprofit that, has really taken off like wildfire. And round about 2018, I think, the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, there was a guy you may have heard of by the name of Mike Rowe,
Yeah,
Discovery Channel,
course,
Dirty
yeah.
Jobs, the voice of Deadliest Catch.
yeah.
Mike at the time had a show on Facebook when Facebook was doing shows. They no longer do this anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
But Mike had a show called Returning the Favor where he would go out into a community and he would meet somebody that's doing good things in their community and he would, make a donation or help them get into a building or get them a box truck, whatever their
Sure.
organization needed. And Luke was featured on that show.
Oh,
And so
okay.
in 2018, we got hold of it in Omaha. Many, many other people got hold of it across the country. And from Luke's origins in 2012 in his garage, we now have 400 chapters across the country. So,
Wow. And they're all within the network, but they kind of all raise their own money, or like how does that kind of work? How do they
That's-
all operate?
yeah, it's a great question. So we're all we're local chapters of a national nonprofit. So we
Mm-hmm.
do have, executive leadership team in the Idaho area, but every local chapter operates fairly autonomously based on a system that was created by
Yeah.
Luke and by all his colleagues there. So we can pretty much give people the playbook to
Mm-hmm.
operate from,
Mm-hmm.
and they can go off and run a chapter and have pretty good success with it.
Mm.
On a national level, we do have a relationship with Lowe's who kind of helps chapters get up and running with
Okay.
tools and grant money and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But from a local perspective, we go out and we make partners and we raise money,
Just like the
and that
rest of us.
that money
Yeah.
stays local. So
Awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome. This is a great cause. I love what you guys are doing.
appreciate
I
that.
love
Thank
it.
you.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's like you said, it's simple, but those are the things that make really a great difference.
yeah, I would
And
agree. Yeah.
and they scale. And um, how did you get involved?
Me personally,
Yeah. And what
uh,
is your role today?
so I'm a volunteer. Everybody that you meet on a local level with SHP is a volunteer.
Okay.
We run 100% by donations, and the physical aspect of building and delivering the beds are volunteers. So
Yeah, yeah.
you're talking to
Yeah.
a core volunteer, I hope
Yeah.
people would consider with SHP.
Yeah.
But there's a group of, 30 or 40 of us that I would consider core people.
Mm.
We come together on a really regular basis, and do what we do. We build and deliver beds. But in 2025, we had something like 2,700 volunteers who came
Okay.
out and hung out with us for the events that we put on last
Yeah.
year. You mentioned scale, so we
Yep.
continue to scale, but I didn't stumble into it. But you talked about our history when we were part of a church together, and that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of where our local chapter started. Is
Mm.
four guys from the church drove out to Idaho to learn how to do this. They brought
Mm.
it back and taught us how to do it,
Yeah.
and the rest is history, I guess.
It's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Awesome. What challenges do you guys have? I mean, when it comes to building this chapter in the Omaha area.
You've been in the nonprofit world for long enough. You know
Uh,
probably how most people will answer the question is capital, right? I mean, you need
yeah.
money to run your organization. We have a very large number of people who come to us on a regular basis and say, "This is amazing. I want to volunteer. How do I get involved?"
We're
And we love that because we
yeah.
we want you to come in to our facility. We do have a permanent facility now. We were operating out of a trailer for a long time.
Sure.
That was our biggest challenge until a couple years ago in
Okay.
2024 when we acquired this facility that we rent. But
Okay.
the problem when you have people who are really excited to come and volunteer
Yeah.
and serve with you is if I don't have any lumber for them to cut and build beds, then I have to say, sorry, you can't come volunteer with us
Yeah.
today.
Right. Right.
So our chapter financially is healthy,
Yeah.
but the more you spend on commodities like lumber and mattresses and that kind of thing,
Yep.
the more the revolving door spins. So you really have to keep the funding going to keep the volunteers coming in to assist you.
Yeah. Have you seen you being a chapter of a national organization? It's great from a scaling side, from a local side. Have you seen that create any barriers? Like just being a chapter of something bigger. Sometimes we've seen that. There's been a little bit of a disconnect with
Yeah,
like a local community with a national chapter. Sometimes we've seen that.
we've been really fortunate. I mentioned the core group of people that we have. I'd be pretty remiss if I didn't mention
No, please.
people like Roger and Jenny Riffle, who are
Yep.
our the
Sure.
leaders of our
They're
chapter,
amazing.
essentially.
Yep.
So they were around when we
Hmm.
started
Hmm.
back in 2018, and you know them personally. So they have really dug in and made relationships with people in
Mm.
this community that not only come in and help us on a one-time basis, but
Hmm.
the sustainability and the repetitive nature of the generosity of some of our
Yeah.
partners has been huge for us. So we did learn some of that from,
Hmm.
the national chapter, the chapter support center we call it. But we've been pretty fortunate to be plugged into some large scale national events that instead of creating a disconnect, they've really given us the tools to plug in grassroots locally and learn
Hmm.
how to network with people and communicate with people and ask the question, can you help us
Yeah.
by funding us or helping us with your hands and feet?
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of challenge with that with some groups. Um, just because everybody likes to give to local, like their local thing.
Yes.
And sometimes certain national chapter models struggle to like convince people that
Hmm.
it is locally rooted. Um, but it doesn't sound like you guys are having that problem, so that's good. Um, what is the future for this chapter? What do you guys see in maybe 5 or 6 years?
We initially had some estimates when we started all this. Our service area is all of Douglas and Sarpy County.
Okay.
We have 2 zip codes in Potawatomi County, which essentially covers Council Bluffs.
Mm-hmm.
Recently expanded into the Fremont area. We have
Okay.
what's called a delivery hub there, and we're looking to expand into Washington County, into the Blair area. So for all intents and purposes, our service area is about 800,000 to 1 million people,
Mm-hmm.
and we figure about 3% of those people are children
Mm-hmm.
who need us.
Yeah.
I don't do public math on podcasts,
Yeah.
but
I don't either. I don't either.
3% of 1 million people, most people can do that math.
Yeah.
To date, we have delivered 5,200 beds.
Wow.
So we have work to do. Omaha as a community grows,
Mm-hmm.
which is great.
Right.
The need for what we do grows with it.
Yeah.
So the scalability that we've talked about a couple of times has been really phenomenal for our chapter.
Yep.
But I don't see the time in the next 5 to 6 years where the need is met.
Mm-hmm.
So we will continue to scale and continue to serve people. The other thing that comes with that is awareness, right? So
Mhm.
more people learn about what we're doing, more families that are in the situation where they need help learn about us and are brave enough to ask for help.
Mm.
And so we're going to help them.
Yep.
The issue that you run into is the time it takes to get to them with the resources and the volunteers that you have to serve the people that need you.
Yep. Do you guys receive lumber donations? Like, how does that work? If someone says, "Hey, I've got like a warehouse full of wood."
I love that. I love that question.
Like, what kind of in-kind donations can people give?
In-kind donations are the ticking clock of our operation.
Okay.
And by that, I mean, if you want to donate twin-size bedding, pillows, quilts that you have made, lumber is one that we really haven't tapped into yet, just because we haven't found the right connection.
Sure.
So we do purchase the majority of our lumber with the funds that are donated.
Okay.
We've talked about the Lowe's relationship. We don't get the lumber for free, but we get a
Discounted or
pretty good
something.
deal with
Sure.
our friends from Lowe's. And they
What about a
deliver it.
bed? That's a tough one.
That's one that we get all the time.
That's a tough one.
The
Uh-huh.
the answer is no, unfortunately.
Sure.
We will direct people
A
to
lot of groups say no to that one, by the way.
we will
That's very
direct
common.
we'll direct them to one of our partners who can help.
Yep.
The furniture project is great.
Oh,
Lisa,
yeah.
my brethren, is great. There's a number of others.
Yeah.
What we do at SHP is we want to get community folks involved.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to teach you how to build the bed, and we're going to teach you how to deliver the bed. But bringing in a gently used
Mm-hmm.
frame or mattress or whatever is just not in our model. Everything that we provide and deliver to the child's home is brand new
So
material.
you make the beds.
We make them.
So you don't,
Yeah.
if I have old frame,
Yeah.
take it to a furniture project or maybe a different group, but you guys don't take frames.
We do not.
Don't take frames.
Everything that we do
Okay.
is brand new materials. We bring in the raw lumber,
Okay.
we measure it, we
You
cut
make
it,
it,
we
you
sand
cut
it,
it.
we drill it, we put it
Okay.
together, we take it to the child's
And
home.
if I have a mattress, no.
Same
thing.
Send it to Drew
Or somebody else.
at Furniture Project.
Yeah.
Find a place for it. We can help you do that. But
Yeah.
the mattresses that we deliver with our beds are brand new in the box.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, beds are tough, like mattresses.
Mhm.
A lot of groups, this is just maybe education. For some people, mattresses have been tough. A lot of groups they're stopping to take mattresses. And I remember at Open Door, we stopped taking them. I don't know if it's still like that, but when I was there, and it is tough because I know people want to be generous in that way, but also at the same time, we've also had some horror stories of some really rough mattresses
Sure.
donated where we couldn't give it to a family.
Yeah.
And so I totally get it. And I think donors, they just want to know how to be the most helpful.
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate that sincerely, and we do get those messages all
Yeah,
the
I'm
time.
sure you
whether
do.
it's a DM on Facebook or they email us, and we point them in the right direction, and
Yeah.
we tell them very kindly that here's what we do. Everything that we deliver is brand new,
Yep.
and they understand that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. When you talk about volunteering, how often are you guys doing these? Like, I know you have some larger activity days with like certain churches and stuff. Like, how does your rhythm look like in distributing the beds?
Omaha's weather cycle is fairly unpredictable.
So
and
you do this outside.
We used to be 100% outside when we were operating from the trailer. The facility that we acquired in Millard in 2014 is about 3,000 square feet of indoor outdoor
Okay.
space essentially. It's not very well climate controlled. So
Sure.
we do the best we can with the weather conditions that we have, but we are protected and covered, and we can do events in inclement weather.
Mm.
But when the weather's good and people don't have their day jobs to get to, we're pretty much gathering to some extent every week now.
Mm.
So whether it's building beds on a Saturday or delivering them on a Saturday, we have a wonderful group that we call our legacy crew. It's retired or semi-retired men and women
Sure.
that come in on a Thursday afternoon
Okay.
and get some work done. But anytime that we have time within our schedules to make a difference, we're going in and doing so.
And how often are you doing events like with your volunteers? Is it once a month? Is it once a week?
Almost every week now,
Almost every
sometimes
week.
more than once a week.
Okay.
So we have a wonderful group within our core that does some scheduling for us. So
Mm.
we'll get an inquiry from a company or a church or whomever wants to sponsor a build or a delivery with us. We'll
Mm.
find a spot on the calendar that meets their company's needs,
Mm-hmm.
and also a time where we can have some core people there to help
Sure.
lead. But we plan weeks in advance, months in advance, and a good problem to have is that actually for the rest of 2026, we can't take any more builds because we
Mm.
have our calendar full of builds, and our
Yeah.
our core team has day jobs that they have to get to. What we do need is deliveries. So if there's anybody that wants to partner with us for a
Yeah.
delivery for the rest of the year, they should reach out for us.
Does do you guys get? I have a couple questions. Do you guys get funded by foundations or grants?
Occasionally, we will receive grant money. We have a grant writing team within our national organization where if we hear about something locally, we can send them the information, and they have experience and professionalism in writing the grant. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll submit the application, and we do receive those on a fairly regular
Hmm.
basis. We have relationships
Interesting.
with, as you mentioned, churches, companies that support us on an annual basis. In 2025, we met the guys at Mustaches for Kids, and they
Mm-hmm.
did some pretty great fundraising for us.
Yep.
We have regular partners in the Water's Edge Church, Grace Hill Church, Thrasher Foundation Repair,
Yep.
companies and churches all over town that
Awesome.
just plug in with us and have a really good time and want to do it again. So
What happens when you guys get too many inquiries?
as we sit here today, I think we have something like 275 children on the waiting list, which means the application is in, they qualify for a bed,
Okay.
and we haven't been able to deliver it yet. So our chapter kind of sits right around that,
Okay.
250 to 300 waiting list at all times.
Do you feel like the volunteer run structure can lid that in some ways?
The
Just from a time standpoint?
Many of the volunteers we get are, I wouldn't call them, well, some of them are regulars, but a lot of them
Uh-huh.
have come and hang out with us before. So if you can eliminate that initial training component of new volunteers, we can come in and we can be a little bit more efficient with the
Mm-hmm.
time it takes us to deliver 275 beds. The problem that you get is once you deliver those 275, the applications still keep running, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've
Right.
delivered those, and then your waiting list is right back up where it started. So
Right.
the more volunteers we get, the faster we can be,
Okay.
but you need the resources and the lumber to build them first, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yep. How can people get involved? Share kind of where can we go from here?
There's a number of different ways you can plug in with us. I think probably on the screen you see our website, shpbeds.org. So if you log on there,
Down here somewhere.
down there. If you go to shpbeds.org, there'll be a drop-down menu in the top left corner. If you're not in Omaha, you can select the chapter that is closest to you. If there isn't one,
Okay.
you can start a chapter because a large
Yeah.
percentage of our country is not served by what we do.
Okay.
So you can start with the website. They can find us on Facebook at SHP Omaha. You can follow some of our builds and our deliveries and kind of see some of the pictures of the recipients there, which
Yeah.
is where the rubber meets the road. That's where your heart really gets melted and makes you want to come out.
Yep.
Obviously, we accept monetary donations. shpbeds.org is the way to do that.
Okay.
You can make in-kind donations, twin-size bedding, standard-size pillows. If there's a company out there, you mentioned the lumber aspect.
Yeah.
If you're a home builder, if you're a
Yeah.
commercial builder,
Yeah.
and you feel compelled to partner with us, we deal with 2x6s, 2x4s,
Okay.
and 1x4s in specific lengths. So I can get more information to anybody and everybody about that. But
Yeah.
any way that you can help us, we're glad to accept.
I'm sure there's tons of people out there that have a bunch of lumber just sitting in there
I hope
that
so.
they haven't touched, and
Yeah.
I can just picture it right
Yeah.
now in my dad's garage.
Yeah. Imagine how much more you can scale if I can eliminate lumber from our budget. Right?
Yeah.
So if I don't have to buy lumber, I can buy more mattresses.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, Joey.
Thank you for being here. Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It's shpbeds.org.
shpbeds.org.
Okay. Guys, check them out. I mean, from a volunteer standpoint, donation standpoint, lumber in kind. We're friends with the Water's Edge Church, and I've heard nothing but great things from them. And I know they love partnering with this group, and sounds like you're involved with the Thrashers and like different groups like that. So if you're a group, church, individual, this is a great group to connect with, and they're doing amazing things, not just in Omaha, but all over the nation. So again, thank you, Greg, for being on the show. Guys, check them out, and we will be back here with another nonprofit here in about a week. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Joey.